Okay, so after you get all these values inputted on your spreadsheet, what I really want us to do is to put these values into a graph digitally and on paper. So you're going to submit the paper one on Canvas, but what I want you to do also is to view it on another website called Desmos. So open up a new tab and go to desmos.com. Now we're gonna go ahead and set up our graph, and we're gonna before we enter any data in here. Desmos is a really cool tool, but in order for us to get a good looking graph, we really need to look at our data. So looking at our data here, we're going to use our x values and our y values. Our x values range between 0 and 4 pi, so 12.566. So what I want to do on my Desmos graph is I want to click this little button right here, this graph settings button, and set my x values to range between 0. Well, I'll probably overshoot a little bit. Let's go negative 0.5, and my maximum x values to go all the way out to probably 13, just a little bit past 12.5. And I probably will change my step. We did 15-degree increments, which is pi over 12s. So if I want to see that, I'm going to set this to pi over 12, just so I kind of get a good, each one of these would be a pi over 12 then. Now, my y-axis, if I'm looking at my graph, my values range between 0 all the way up to a maximum of 1 and a minimum of -1. So let's set my y-axis to range between like negative 1.5 and positive 1.5. And we can probably just choose the default scale there. That looks like it's 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, and 0.5. Okay, so now I've got the graph set up. But in order to see what's actually going to happen here, we need to input our table of values. So what I want you to do is click Add an Item up here in the corner, and then a table. So we'll be able to put in our table of values. Now, to make this a little bit easier, I'm going to split screen these. And to do that, you need to drag the tab out and then push Control and then bracket. Or sorry, Alt and then bracket. And it moves it over to one side. And then on my spreadsheet, I'm also going to push the other side. So now I've got a split screen, and I can just copy and paste my values over. Well, the first one's easy. It's just 0, 0. So 0, 0. Now for this one, I'm going to copy that number and paste it for the x value. I'm going to copy this number and paste it for the x value, or the y value. So I'm using Control C to copy, Control V to paste. So let me just do a few of these, and we'll start to look at the graph here, just to make sure that what we're doing is showing up on the graph. Okay, so once I get that, let me just go ahead and maximize this again, and let's see if it's showing up. So yes, in fact, it does look like the dots that we are graphing are showing up there. Right now they look a little bit linear, but as you start to graph more of them, you'll be able to see exactly what's going on. So I want you to graph all the points that you did by hand and then also on this spreadsheet. So you can take a screenshot of this if you want to submit a screenshot. You can also, I also want to see a picture of the paper. So do both of them, do it both digitally and on paper.